I just want to come back to when you are crossing the Southern Ocean. Of course, even back then, the ships were big enough to withstand the storms and all. But one still experienced, the screaming 40s, the roaring.
No, the roaring 40s are there.
Roaring 40s.
You see, that when we reached those 30, 40s and all, the ship was rolling and pitching and all that. That was a very bad time. People, they vomited, and night when you go to sleep, you will find your cups and saucers will fly. And it will look as if the ship is breaking and all. So that was a very rough time.
But you acclimatized to that? Or
No, we were not acclimatized, but you have to get used to it. We used to enjoy all this. I think very frankly, we used to enjoy this. It's a rare experience.
Of course.
Because you come and stand on the ship deck and you start seeing the waves, big waves coming. And they are throwing the ship from one side to the other. And how the ship people are at that time keeping their on the watch.
Right.
And that is also part of the fact is that all these hazards which come, they have got some enjoyment also, some pleasure also.
Right.
That is what we used to do. We used to be enjoying all that.
M&M Talkies presents
India's greatest journeys, Dakshin Gangotri. Chapter 4, Journey to the Bottom of the World.
1st December 1983 को थर्ड इंडियन एंटार्क्टिक मिशन गोवा से निकलने के लिए तैयार है। इस मिशन को अंटार्कटिका पहुंचाएगी MS फिन पोलारिस, फिनलैंड से चार्टर्ड की गई आइस क्लास 1A सुपरशिप। 13,000 टन्स डिस्प्लेसमेंट की इस शिप के 80 फीट गहरे होल्ड्स में 4 हेलीकॉप्टर, 1000 डीजल के बैरल्स, 900 टन इक्विपमेंट और 81 मिशन मेंबर्स आराम से समा सकते हैं। चलिए, अगर फिगर से समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो इमेजिन करिए एक शिप जो एक प्रोफेशनल फुटबॉल फील्ड से 1.5 टाइम्स लंबी है और एक 10 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग से भी ऊंची। फिन पोलारिस यूरोप से मंगवाया हुआ सारा इक्विपमेंट, स्नो व्हीकल्स और बेस बिल्डिंग मटेरियल्स लोड करते करते गोवा पहुंचे। लेकिन वहां पहुंचते ही मिशन लीडर हर्ष गुप्ता और कंस्ट्रक्शन पार्टी लीडर कर्नल पवन नायर notice a problem.
And we had read Hillary's, in fact, book. Hillary had been there in the late 50s for a trans-Antarctic expedition in snow tractors. So we had read his book, and he had mentioned very clearly that do not reach Antarctica with your stores in a haphazard manner. But unfortunately that did happen, but we got to know about it in Goa itself.
जो आपने पिछले एपिसोड में सुना और जो डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता जानते थे वो ये था कि ये छोटी सी गलती की वजह से शायद अंटार्कटिका से इस मिशन को वापस लौटना पड़े। तो अब मिशन के सक्सेस के लिए डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता को लेना पड़ा एक जरूरी डिसीजन।
And the mistake Dr. Qasim had done was that when the Finn Polaris ship arrived, he introduced me to the captain and told captain that whatever Harsh says shall be done. It's the last word on this expedition. So I discussed it with Major Nair, Pawan Nair, and we realized that we should unload the entire stuff and load it again. The hold of the ship was 80 feet deep. So I went, and next day we told that please unload the whole ship. So it was unloaded. Dr. Qasim came by about 12 o'clock and he was harassed. He asked the captain, what is happening? He said, sir, you said whatever Harsh Gupta says you have to do. He asked us to do it. So I took him to a corner and explained the whole thing. So he understood. But this meant that our departure was delayed by 3 days instead of by 2 days. Instead of first we left by 3rd. And he had called some very distinguished people to send us off.
आपको 70s और 80s की वो मूवीज याद है? स्मगलर्स, सोना, वो सब? एक्चुअली ये सब उस वक्त की एक असलियत थी। और जब 1983 में फिन पोलारिस इतना सारा फॉरेन टेक्निकल इक्विपमेंट लेकर गोवा में डॉक्ड थी तो इसके कार्गो होल्ड्स में रखे हुए सामान को लेकर बहुत इंटरेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा था, जिसकी वजह से लोडिंग और अनलोडिंग पर असर हो रहा था।
All that I remember of Goa was a shorter version of Amitabh Bachchan. There was a union leader called Polly. You know, when we went to England, those were the days when there was no, you couldn't get imported stuff. So whatever things we would have bought and ordered, maybe a sound system or something, people were trying to take it out. And also when we were trying to organize loading, so we were trying to get the laborers to work, and there comes this Polly, 2 feet 9 inches, who's doing tantrums. I walked up to Polly.
But when you mean, I think you are paraphrasing. When you mean tantrums, can you expand on tantrums?
तो मतलब मेरे आदमी ऐसे काम नहीं करेंगे जब तक पॉली नहीं बोलेगा.
Oh.
So I was not involved directly, but when I heard of this, I called Polly. I said, boss, मैं कैप्टन रूम में हूँ, और अगर तूने काम नहीं किया ना, मैं तुझे सीधा कर दूँगा, इसके नीचे काट दूँगा तुझे. I don't know how he got so taken up that he took my address of Pune. When we had sailed, he went to my house and he took a tiger skin. He wanted to present to my wife. My wife said, thank you very much. My husband will not let me live if I take this tiger skin. He still brought some bottles of Fendi. He said, this you must keep in your house. See, I was so impressed by your husband. So that is what I remember about him.
Okay. शिप की रीलोडिंग कंप्लीट है। 3 दिसंबर 1983 शाम 6 बजे फिन पोलारिस गोवा से निकलती है। डॉक पर उनको अलविदा करने के लिए थे 2 नेवल बैंड्स, कुछ बड़े डिग्नेटरीज जिसमें डॉक्टर कासिम भी शामिल थे, लेकिन शायद सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट उन 81 मिशन मेंबर्स की फैमिलीज, जिनको समर टीम 4 महीनों के लिए छोड़ के जा रही है, लेकिन जिनको विंटरिंग टीम के वो 12 लोग अब सिर्फ 1.5 साल बाद मिलेंगे। जब तक वो अपनी फैमिलीज को देख सके, तब तक मिशन मेंबर्स शिप के डेक पे खड़े रहे। लेकिन जैसा कि विंटरिंग टीम लीडर मेजर जनरल सत्या शर्मा ने मुझे बताया, डेक से नीचे उतरते ही वो अपने आप को एक अलग दुनिया में पाते हैं।
Yeah, you see, as far as we were not conversant with the ship culture and the Finnish culture. So, and even with the type of food stuff they had brought with them, we were not conversant with that. And living on the ship also, we were not conversant. So, even when you are meeting them on the ship also, you are in a foreigners crowd. Even our own crowd is also a foreigners crowd because you are with the Navy, Air Force. Air Force has got its own do's and don'ts, their own way of life. Navy has got its own. Army has got its own. So, and
the civilian scientists have their own.
The fact is, to make a team out of this is something which is very difficult. And that's where I will say that Dr. Gupta played a very big role. He assembled all of them and he gave a personal talk. His liaison with them was very good. His interaction was good. And I was part of the team. I was part of Dr. Gupta's management this thing. And I admired his thing. And I also used to follow the same.
अब एक शिप पे रहना मतलब कि एक दूसरी दुनिया में रहना, और इस नई दुनिया के कुछ कायदे कानून हैं जो सारे मिशन मेंबर्स को सीखने पड़ेंगे।
First evening, you are told that here is the galley and this is the food stuff lying there. You prepare your own food. So we did not know how to prepare food. We had 3 cooks with us, 2 naval chap and 1 army chap. They made something, they boiled the eggs and all, gave it, and the scientists were craving, sir, हम तो मर जाएंगे इसमें, ये खाने से क्या होगा हमारा, ये क्या खाना है, we are all due for the ship. So next day itself, he made a committee of the cooking committee, and we decided what should be the menu and all that. We worked out and all that. So things started getting all right. Now making chapati, everybody has to. Now there are some 80 persons, and for them number of chapatis. So naturally a duty has to be shared by the scientists and others. So then we made a roster, and accordingly scientists were helping. Scientists, everybody was helping the cooks in preparing chapatis and serving dishes and then cleaning dishes. Cleaning becomes a very big response. Nobody wants to do the cleaning. They want to leave everything. But to give them a feeling that you have to clean your own this thing, it becomes a difficult task. So to develop a ship culture, itself takes time. But happy that generally they are adapted to it, and then it started working well.
कुछ लोग के पास पहले से एक्सपीडिशन का एक्सपीरियंस था, जैसे कि कंस्ट्रक्शन पार्टी लीडर कर्नल पवन नायर। उन्होंने एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ हाईलाइट की जब वो मुझे शिप लाइफ के बारे में बता रहे थे।
Was there a situation where sort of people, you had to sort of guide people through ship life, like help them get acquainted to ship life?
Yes, actually, fortunately, the engineer boys, quite a lot of them, we have done watermanship training. So we work on water and even on tidal waters and things like that. So we know we've got a feel of the water being on a ship, being in a vessel. But there were a lot of people who felt seasick on the way because the ship was pitching and rolling a lot in these, even this largest ship. There was a lot of, and there was an issue of, the accommodation was not that great because they had to put everybody in containers below the deck.
Right.
So it was a very cramped kind of a thing. The toilets were not enough and they were getting blocked. So we were all going down there and cleaning them if required, including myself personally.
Right.
Because in this kind of an expedition, there's no you're a leader or you're a working hand.
Yeah.
Everybody is a working hand.
Right.
You're not on a luxury cruise. You've come out on an expedition for the country. So you have to face that. That's okay.
Everybody is a working hand. ये एक बहुत ही ज़रूरी लर्निंग है जो आगे जाके भी इस मिशन के सक्सेस का एक बहुत बड़ा रीज़न बनेगी। लेकिन एक एक्सपीडिशन पे छोटी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स होती रहती हैं। अब खाना और सफाई की प्रॉब्लम तो थी ही, लेकिन अब एक और अनएक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉब्लम इस मिशन के सामने आ जाती है।
Actually, the frozen food, especially the meats, all the meat part, and a lot of our boys are non-vegetarian. And the meat is an important source of protein also.
Yeah.
So once that freezer went off, we had to discard that entire sort of load of meats, which led to restriction, obviously, in dieting. But we were able to, our cooks, we had naval cooks, we had an army cook also, he was good, and they were trying to dish out as much as possible. And the ship people also did help. They also got a cook working with us. And we were about 80 members total, and 20-25, so 100 plus people on the ship to be fed 3 times a day. It was quite a job.
Yeah.
And but we did manage.
और मिशन के लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज को कहाँ और किसको असाइन करना है, ये डिसाइड करना पड़ा डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता को।
You see, the doctors, wonderful doctors, service doctors, 3 of them. On the 2nd or 3rd day, they said, "Sir, the medical facilities on the ship are not adequate to take care of any mishap." I said, "What should you do?" He said, "Sir, we have got everything because we are going to put that in the wintering station. If you give us a space, we'll deploy that on the ship." So there were 2 rooms available to me, and scientists had been asking for those rooms for some scientific experiments. So I gave those 2 rooms to the doctors, and you imagine how angry the scientists were. That I, being a scientist, I'm not supporting them. I'm following what the doctors are asking.
लेकिन इन सारी छोटी बड़ी दिक्कतों के बावजूद हर मिशन मेंबर का ख्याल था सिर्फ एक चीज पर, इस ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल मिशन की कामयाबी। इस 24 दिन के सफर को डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता ने इस्तेमाल किया उनकी प्रिपरेशन को और मजबूत बनाने में।
We had a small chart prepared, allotting the time, 60 days time. So on the ship, every day we'll get together and discuss how do we cut down this time, how do we cut down this time. So we made an aim that we should aim to build the station in 30 days, not in 60 days. Because 60 days is the total time available to us, out of which time goes away in whiteouts and in blizzards. So for the success of the mission, it was important that we cut down our working to 30 days of constructing. So 1 week's time for the reconnaissance to place the station was cut down to 1 afternoon. I had seen the photographs and I said myself and Major Nair and 2-3 other people, we just go there in the piston body and decide.
और विंटरिंग टीम के लीडर मेजर जनरल सत्या शर्मा को भी अपने मिशन की तैयारी करनी थी।
At the same time, I kept my mind very straight that my mission starts when the wintering starts, and I have to focus everything on that. But the luck would have it, and as it is a coincidence, that I was to lead a group of 12, including me, and till then I had not met all of them. So we all 12, and I was to live with them for almost 1.5 years. And the first time I met all of them was only on the ship.
एक टीम धीरे धीरे साथ आ रही है जिसमें अब शिप का क्रू भी शामिल है।
So after I think a week, very often you find some crew persons eating with the Indians and vice versa. And by the time we reach Antarctica and few days after that, everyone was cooking his or her own meal. Because you get sick and tired of eating the same food cooked by. And they also enjoyed the food that we cooked. And there used to be a film show every day. Bombay Street was the name of that lane where they were on both sides there were rooms. And on that street they will put the screen and every day movie will be.
This is a Hindi film.
Huh.
In the world of the ship.
लेकिन इस टीम का हौसला बनाए रखने के लिए डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता को इंडिया में हो रहे डिबेट्स, डिस्कशंस और उनके लीडरशिप पे उठाए गए डाउट्स को अकेले झेलना पड़ा।
And we kept on getting messages from Dr. Qasim and all the people from Department of Ocean Development because it was there was a lot. I realized later on there was a lot of debate back in India whether it was very foolish to try to set up a permanent base in the third expedition. So the scientific circles and the official circles. So sometimes there's a whim and fancy of some people who take such steps without proper preparation. So this also filtered to us. This was not openly told to the people because that would discourage us a lot. But that question was definitely there. So there were also questions that you have sent somebody who is now in Antarctica. He's a leader. He's just 40 years of age. How can he manage such a huge thing?
How did you deal with that? Because of course the rest of the crew you may have chosen to not share this with them. But how did you deal with that? Because it's not that you don't have enough.
You see, I have been into situations, difficult situations, and really, as the things get tough, I become tougher.
अब हर देश के अपने अलग अलग रीति रिवाज तो होते हैं और फिनलैंड का एक बहुत ही खास कस्टम है जो जुड़ा हुआ है इक्वेटर क्रॉसिंग से, खासकर कि उन लोगों के लिए जो पहली बार इक्वेटर को क्रॉस कर रहे हैं। और ये मेजर जनरल सत्या शर्मा को तब पता चला जब 6 दिसंबर को शिप इक्वेटर पार कर रही थी।
What is the memory you have of crossing the equator? Because the Finnish have a
They have a
tradition.
They have a tradition. They will catch everybody, and then they will say, they'll put the binoculars in front of you, and they will say, "Can you see the King Neptune in the sky?" You say, "No, I don't see it." Then they will give you a big cocktail, and you are forced on it. And after third cocktail, you say, yes, I see everything and all that. By the time you are flat on the ground. And then they throw a lot of seawater on you and all. It's a ceremony done which is a part of humor.
Right.
And this is done in case of everybody who is crossing the equator for the first time.
first time.
And after that, they give a nice certificate of cross the equator and all that stuff. It is their shipping tradition. We enjoyed it also.
लेकिन अब हम जाते हैं नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर से सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में, और डैड ने मुझे बताया इन दो जगहों के बीच में एक बहुत बड़ी डिफरेंस के बारे में.
If you look at the geography of a planet, most of the landmass is in the northern hemisphere. Normally, when you have a depression forming up somewhere, the wind starts building up. Now, when the winds is passing through a northern hemisphere, there are sufficient outcrops, natural and man-made, which resist the flow of the wind, which breaks its speed. But as you go into the southern hemisphere, with no resistance, the wind now has a free run.
और इन तेज हवाओं की वजह से यहाँ पर आते हैं भयंकर तूफान. कितने भयंकर, शायद आप इसका अंदाजा लगा पाएंगे जब आप इन लैटिट्यूड्स के नाम सुनेंगे. 40 डिग्री साउथ, रोरिंग 40s, 50 डिग्री साउथ, फ्यूरियस 50s, और 60 डिग्री साउथ, स्क्रीमिंग 60s. और इस तूफानी इलाके से पहली बार गुजरने का अनुभव क्या होता है, ये बताया मुझे मेवाड़ राजस्थान से आए डॉक्टर लक्ष्मण राठौर ने.
जितना पापा से और दूसरों से पता चला ना, मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि शायद वो खुशी माहौल का फंक्शन रखते हैं वहां पे, उनको पता है आगे क्या आने वाला है. आगे हौसला अफजाई रखे.
पहली बार समुद्र यात्रा और पानी के बीच इतनी लंबी अवधि के लिए यात्रा करना, ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा रोमांच था. चारों तरफ पानी और पानी के बीच में आपका जहाज और जहाज की डेक पे आप, और बस अच्छा लगता था. शुरू में बहुत अच्छा लगा, और भूमध्य रेखा तो हमने तीसरे दिन पार किया. हमें लगा कि ये तो बहुत सामान्य सी बात थी, लेकिन जब वो रोरिंग 40s और फ्यूरियस 50s में गए और कुछ चक्रवात दाएं बाएं घूमते, और तब लगा वाकई में समुद्र की अपनी चुनौतियां हैं. लेकिन हम तब तक काफ़ी एक दूसरे के एक्सपीरियंस, कुछ हमारे कलीग्स जो गवेषणी या जो सागर कन्या इन जहाज़ों पे गए हुए थे, उनके अपने तजुर्बे थे जी, और उन तजुर्बों से वो हमको काफ़ी लाभ मिला कि भैया घबराने की बात नहीं है, थोड़ा बहुत जी बताएगा, उल्टी होगा, दस्त होगा, ये होगा, कुछ नहीं.
दिसंबर 25, 1983 को फिन पोलारिस 66.5 डिग्री साउथ का लैटिट्यूड पार करके एंटार्क्टिक सर्कल में एंटर करती है. अब डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता अपनी आंखों से देख सकते हैं वो सारे नज़ारे जिनके बारे में उन्होंने सिर्फ पढ़ा था.
We spotted the first iceberg at around 64-63 degrees south, and it was such a pleasure to see huge iceberg. It is a flat top, almost 10 meter high, so 10 meter high means that it will be 90 meters below. And then fish will follow us. The ship moves, they keep on moving, and when you get into slightly frozen sea, then the trail of the ship stays for a long time. And the penguins, as soon as we reach there, and I think most of us were seasick, and fortunately I don't fall seasick, and that was also handled quite well. And finally we reached the outer shelf of Antarctica. By this time the Indian team and the Finn team, they gelled quite well, very friendly, very happy. All things are fine, and evenings will very often have music. Anyone and everyone will sing and dance and do all kind of things.
लेकिन एंटार्क्टिक सर्कल का पानी अभी भी जमा हुआ है, तो अब फिन पोलारिस के आइस ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम्स को एक्टिवेट किया जाता है. वाटर पंप्स समुद्री पानी को शिप के पिछले भाग में डालते हैं, जिससे उसका आगे का हल ऊपर उठता है, और जैसे ही ये बर्फ के ऊपर आता है, शिप से पानी को डिस्चार्ज कर दिया जाता है और हजारों टन्स की शिप बर्फ पे गिरकर उसको तोड़ देती है। धीरे धीरे इस बर्फ को तोड़ते हुए फिन पोलारिस अपना रास्ता बनाती है और 26 दिसंबर को एंटार्क्टिक आइस शेल्फ से 3 किलोमीटर दूर रुक जाती है, क्योंकि यहाँ की बर्फ इतनी थिक है कि फिन पोलारिस भी इसका कोई मुकाबला नहीं कर सकती। और अब डॉक्टर हर्ष गुप्ता की नज़र फाइनली पड़ती है एंटार्क्टिका पर। 13,000 किलोमीटर का सफ़र शुरू तो किया था 81 मिशन मेंबर्स और 28 क्रू मेंबर्स ने, लेकिन एंटार्क्टिका पहुंची है एक टीम। और अब शुरू होता है इस टीम का असली मिशन, बिल्डिंग इंडियाज फर्स्ट एंटार्क्टिक बेस, दक्षिण गंगोत्री।
You were listening to
India's greatest journeys, Dakshin Gangotri.
an Eminem original. This podcast, inspired by the historic mission Dakshin Gangotri of 1983, uses creative liberties and dramatizations to enhance the storytelling experience. The creators, producers, directors, artists, and all individuals associated with this podcast do not intend to malign, defame, slander, or offend any person, place, region, country, religion, community, or individual. Every effort has been made to respectfully represent the armed forces, uniforms, and national representatives. Any inaccuracies or deviations are entirely unintentional. The podcast does not endorse smoking or drinking. Listeners' discretion is advised.